1962. I'm just a bit younger than 1962, but not much. But 1962 saw the launch of an interesting English camera, and it's made by the AGI company, who were based in Croydon at that time. And they had made a number of AGI cameras after the war, including the AGI which I've talked about recently, and the AGImatic, which I've used several times and not found to be the most sharpest of cameras. But the AGIMA came out in 1962, and this is it, and it's a 35mm camera, which it does resemble at first sight similar cameras being made in West Germany at the same time. However, I say resemble because when you actually come to use this camera, it's different in quite a number of areas. It's a very compact camera, as you can see here. We have a rangefinder. We have a bright viewfinder. We don't actually have any exposure meter, but when and the back slides off, so if there we have the back of the camera there, and to load the camera cassette in here, you open this window here, put the film, that's your plate, and carefully put the... Now, one thing I have found, you've got to make sure it's completely closed and then lock. So to wind on the film, it's on the shutter. The shutter is also the wind on. What looks like the wind on here is not the wind on, it's actually the wind back. So to take a photograph, we focus on the front here, and as I said, we've got a nice rangefinder. We have a range of shutter speeds from 350 of a second to 1 second and B, and the lens is moderately fast, 2.8 to f16, and the controls are quite nice. You see that on the front here we have focus there, aperture here, and shutter speed there. So shutter, aperture, focus, and after some use we get very used to where those controls are. So I would say these controls are really nicely designed, and there's quite nice ergonomics about the camera when you, as I said, shoot and wind on. And we've also got what I have found to be very useful. On the top we have a little indicator of film transport. So as we are taking a film, we can see that it has been taken up and it is moving. And when you finish your film and round it back and shoot, you will notice it doesn't move. So I find that's quite useful. I mean, I would hope I'm experienced enough to make sure the film is properly loaded, but I have been known to sometimes for the film not to be quite loaded, and I know that's happened to lots of other people. So nice to have a film transport mechanism there. We have a shoe and we have an attachment for flash. It's a nicely cast camera. It feels a nice camera. It doesn't feel cheap. It was actually £19 new, which was quite a lot. It was a lot of money back in 1962. I think it was struggling because of the competition from cameras which were similarly priced and perhaps even better spec'd. It's a shame it didn't really catch on, because it feels a very nice camera. But the proof of the pudding, so to speak, is how did it perform? Took it out recently, shot a film of black and white in it. Let's see how it actually performed. you can see straight away that things don't seem to be perfect. It seems to be out of focus. And my first reaction was, oh dear, it's out of focus. But on closer inspection, the problem we've actually got is a slow shutter. I think this was supposed to be 1/25 of a second, but I think it's actually performing more at 1/20th or 1/15th, because it did appear to be slightly overexposed. And when I've zoomed into the sheep here again, I think that is more of a sign of camera shake actually. And having used the previous model before, I'm pretty sure that a real weakness of these quite nice cameras is the shutter. It basically needs a service. So sorry about that, but thanks for watching and bye for now.